What's up, everybody? Brian Michael Bello here from Surrogate Labs to talk about... I'm Owen Wilson. Cortex. Now, we're going to talk about why it is, why taking nootropics if you're an entrepreneur is extremely smart. It's a smart thing to do. Years ago, I started this iOS device services company called iMobile Rescue. It's a company that still exists. We do iPad and iPhone screen replacement for many corporations around the country, including Crayola, the crayon company. They're one of our biggest clients, and I'm just super humbled to have them as a client. In those early years of that company, one of the things we tried to do is, one of the initiatives in the company was to try to facilitate contracts like that, to try to reach out to companies like Crayola, to big school districts that had 1,000 iPads, 10,000 iPads, some 15,000 iPads, and try to get them to sign contracts with us where if they broke iPads, they can send them to us, we fix them, send it back. We would insure some of their iPads. And we've got deals like this, that contracts like this that still exist, where a company has 1,000 iPads or something, they pay us $5 a month per iPad, it's an insurance rate, and then when they break them, we just fix them for free. There's no deductible, there's no nothing. Part of what it would allow us to get that business early on, a big part of it was me communicating with the technology coordinators within those companies. And a lot of the business that we got because I was extremely articulate, and I was extremely convincing, and because I had verbal fluency that was stellar, because I was taking nootropics, I was confident, and that helped us to get business. So the reason that I was able to be so verbally fluent and so articulate is because right around the time I was taking nootropics, and the nootropics that I was taking were particularly around enhancing the cholinergic system. So acetyl-L-carnitine to a lesser extent, alpha-GPC, CDP-choline, uridine monophosphate, some of the racetams, oxiracetam, aniracetam, and Noopept, right? Affecting the cholinergic system. I've come to understand that the best nootropics for verbal fluency are ones that affect the cholinergic system. Part of what makes our stack, this is our commercial stack we sell in UK and Canada and America and Australia. Part of what makes Cortex so powerful for people is the facilitation of verbal fluency. Look at me, I took it today like I'm on fire. I literally just do not have a misfire happening in my brain. And that's because we've got uridine monophosphate and CDP-choline in very particular amounts in this stack that affect verbal fluency in a major way. It's incredible. I would never be this verbally fluent under normal conditions. My baseline is good. Me drinking coffee, I'm fine. I take care of my brain. I meditate. I sleep well. But there's nothing compared to what Cortex allows me to do. I'm in a whole other realm neurologically right now, and when I take Cortex. So cholinergics are important for that. Uridine monophosphate, even by itself, is powerful for that. But the point is, if you're an entrepreneur and you don't take nootropics, fine. You might be effective just as you are. But it's plausible to say that you're missing out considerably on the ability to convey your points and the ability to be articulate and convince people, and be good salespeople, if you were to be taking nootropics. That a good part of a CEO's job or an entrepreneur's job is to communicate with people. that's the thing that people go into business thinking man, I don't know if I want to do that, or maybe we should just hire salespeople. I kind of want to just work on the product. A lot of Silicon Valley programmers, that's all they really want to do. They're inventors. They're not real entrepreneurs. But if you're an entrepreneur and you've got to talk to people, whatever, if you're a corporate person, this is where we sort of get out of the world of entrepreneurship and into the world of whatever. Doing whatever you need to do. If you're an insurance salesperson, if you're an otherwise admin person for a company that does X, Y, or Z, you're going to need to be articulate. Your ability to convey your messages in a verbally fluent way, which facilitates confidence and conveys confidence to the receiving end, is critically important. So that's why I think all entrepreneurs should be taking nootropics. They have considerably helped me in my ability to convince people because I'm verbally fluent, and therefore I got my potential customers being super confident about me because I was taking nootropics. I think it's critically important. I think it's important for everybody, not just entrepreneurs to take nootropics, but in the realm of verbal fluency, this is why nootropics are important. If you've not tried the Cortex nootropic stack, snag a bottle at livecortex.com. It's got uridine and CDP-choline in it. This is probably the best stack for verbal fluency. Also for facilitating motivation, for facilitating mental energy. Again, I took this 2.5 hours ago, one serving, 2 capsules. I'm on fire. It lasts a long time. I normally do not see a descending of the effects until 4 or 5 hours. And after the 5th hour, when it starts to descend, it only just kind of slowly tapers off. And when I feel like I'm back to baseline, I'm still optimized. 9 o'clock at night, I'm still wow, my brain works better at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, it's amazing. In many instances, I've had terrible sleep, or I've just had to do multiple things in a row. I've had to run one company. I own a couple companies now and do this and that, and having bad sleep and having very many obligations, I need my brain. I would take a couple Cortex, and look, after sleeping 4 or 5 hours because something happened or whatever, I got terrible sleep. I'm up, I'm at it, I'm being productive, I'm being incredibly effective at work. That's just how it works. A friend of mine, United States Army, former United States Army soldier, combat soldier, his name is Corby Tyler Vincent. He's one of the major reviews on the Live Cortex website for the Cortex product. Took it, sampled it. Now he works in essentially a nursing home. And he was telling me, like, man, I was hungover. I was in a bad place, and my brain wasn't working well. I didn't sleep the night before, and I had to go to work. And this is this was like 2 years ago when we were sending out beta samples of Cortex. He took the Cortex, before going to work. Half hour later, he gets to work and is like, he was concerned, like, I'm not gonna be productive. I just can't do anything today. And the whole morning he was just dragging around. Gets to work. Not only is he extremely productive, but he's more productive than he normally is. He calls me up and he's like, man, I'm just knocking stuff off the to-do list. I'm being extremely effective. I'm super articulate. I never imagined I'd be this way after a night of, the guy who had a night of drinking. It was, I didn't sleep well. I never thought I'd be like this. And, this is either placebo or an extremely powerful product. And we've ruled out the idea that placebo. Cortex is very powerful. So that just goes to show the power of Cortex and the power of being articulate and being able to do your job better in the corporate realm as a result of taking nootropics. So snag a bottle of Cortex at livecortex.com. Check the reviews out. Watch our videos. Research the chemicals in the product. The combination of uridine and CDP choline is very, very powerful. And thanks for watching.